Well, we have a special bonus episode on the podcast today, and I'm sitting down with none other than Rachael Carter, the operations manager of You Belong. And what we're going to do is we're just going to chat about, we've got an exciting event coming up.
Exciting,
and we're going to chat about that event, as well as just get an idea of some of the exciting things that are on the horizon for You Belong as we kind of wind our way down towards the end of the year. And look forward to the future. So, Rachael, first of all, how are you doing?
Really great. Yeah. It's Fantastic. A beautiful day out there, and just been to English class, and that always makes my heart full. So, doing great.
Brilliant. So, we've got a bit of we've got a couple of interviews to have today. I just sprung this on you last minute.
Yeah.
But what's happening? What's the big news? Why are we in the Chronicle newspaper? What's going on?
We're going skydiving. How scary is that?
I know.
I like how you say exciting. I'm not sure that I'm particularly excited, but we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so it should be a really nice day, actually.
So we're skydiving, we're fundraising for You Belong for 2021 so that we can continue to provide these incredible services like the English class that we saw today. And we have a wide range of people jumping out, not only you and I, but who have we got?
So we've got Kader.
Yeah.
He's a former refugee. He's a high school student.
Yeah.
He's going to go to university next year, and he volunteers for You Belong. We've got Faraz, who is studying English at TAFE, and you'll see his gorgeous blue eyes on the pictures, so make sure you keep your eye out on Facebook. His eyes are amazing. And another refugee, Sabah, who works at a local abattoir here in Toowoomba. Mm-hmm. So they're all representing the refugees of Toowoomba as they dive out of a plane. How brave is that?
I know.
It's, they've come from war and all sorts of tragic circumstances, and then they're willing to jump out of a plane.
I know. They're probably first plane for many of them being on was flying out here to Australia, and next minute they're jumping in an old rickety Cessna and plunging to bliss. Let's hope.
Yes, let's say that. So I think that's brave.
And some other special notables as well.
Some special notables. We've got Barb Blewett.
Yeah.
She's grandma to Yazidi people here in Toowoomba, 72 years old.
Oh.
And she's going to jump out of a plane. How amazing is that?
That's so good.
That's crazy.
And she's being interviewed particularly for the Chronicle newspaper here.
They thought she was a big enough story just by herself, which she is, right?
Totally.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. And
your daughter as well?
Yeah, Sarah's going to jump out, so she's getting a little bit nervous as we get closer to the time.
Right.
A little less excited. So she's busy raising some money in her little community, so that's amazing.
Oh man, it's so exciting. But I guess the main thing I really want to ask you is why are we jumping out of planes? Why are you jumping out of a plane, Rachael?
Why am I jumping out of a plane? Yeah, well, I guess it goes back to the beginning for me when I was sitting in people's homes, and I was fortunate enough to have that opportunity a lot to sit with people, and I could see the disconnect between themselves and the Toowoomba community, and I wanted to close that gap. I wanted to provide opportunities that were safe for the refugees, but also a comfortable space for the Australians where they can connect with refugees, because if something's not provided, how does a regular established Australian connect with someone like that? Usually we have to provide those spaces that they can do that. So closing that gap, I guess, and connecting people so they're not so isolated and not so lonely, and so they feel like they really belong here in their new home. That's why I'm jumping out of a plane.
Wow.
So we can keep making those spaces and supporting these special people that are here.
Well, I wish people could actually visit Toowoomba and see the work that is happening, sitting on an English class, just as we came from to sit down here and watch the smile on their faces as they come in the door And, they're learning more than just a language. They're actually learning how to belong and create relationships in this town through language is such an important key. And there's other programs that are offering, and hopefully more in the future, which, we have a wonderful team that put posts up on our blog and our website to share some of these beautiful stories that we're talking about. And one that just stood out to me, which I guess really relates to why I'm here today, and why I'm willing to get out of a plane. It's that story of Samir. Samir was this boy that had horrific injuries to his leg, and his family obviously were caught up in all that was happening amongst the Yazidi community in Iraq. They had an incredible gift. Wonderful people came alongside to support them, and now here they find themselves in Australia as well. And just last week, he was standing with you in this beautiful post, and the Mayor of Toowoomba receiving the Mayoral Achievement Award for his high school graduation. And to be honest, that is why we do it. That's why I do it, to see someone who has endured so much, a family stand there who have endured so much. And he is such a bright, shining hope of why we care for and take in those that are refugees, that are now here, not refugees anymore. They are integral parts of the community, leading the way. He is why I'm jumping out of a plane. And I'm just so thankful for the dedication of the team that is on the ground here. So many people making that happen. Rachael?
What I love best about Samir's story is that, he achieved so much with his school, and he's had so many operations and had time off school, but he was still able to achieve that mayoral award. But he wants to go on to be a doctor so that he can help people like him that have been through the same sort of circumstances as himself. So he's not worried about, what he can get from like Australia or the community. He really wants to give back. And he's a 15, 16-year-old boy who already has that passion to give back to his community, and that's amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, wants to be a doctor.
That's amazing. Rach, we've got some exciting things on the future. We don't have much more time to talk, but could you just give me a bit of an idea of some of the programs, some of the things looking to the future that is coming out of this work that you belong as a part of?
Yeah, sure. We're expanding our English program. So we'll add another class on next year in a different part of town. So that'll be able to support some parents mostly of people at school. We also started it's really just a social group for younger women to just try and maybe teach them some ways that Australians get to like to socialise, and so that maybe they could approach someone in the future and go, hey, would you like to go bowling? And and they've actually experienced that, and because otherwise they don't know necessarily what's out there or what they could do to maybe interact with someone. So that's exciting. We had one of those already, and we're looking forward to a few more, and we've got some very excited Australian young ladies as well as refugee young ladies who are keen to be a part of that.
Brilliant.
And we've got our Grow program as well, which we're hoping will start up in a different part of New South Wales, actually. So that's really exciting that we can reach beyond the Toowoomba boundaries.
We've got plans to grow and expand into other communities. Things are going so well here, and we've got people reaching out, and that's just really exciting. Obviously, we can't do that without the support of people coming alongside us. It takes everyone. I'm excited, but you showed me these little cards in the office of, can you help this individual, a newly settled refugee Australian, that there's so many ways you can come alongside individually, whether it be helping them with driving, whether it be helping them with just socially hanging out with them, like the program you're talking about. They're learning English. Can you sit down with them one-on-one? These are amazing initiatives, and it's just exciting to see them happen. And we've even got talks. Keep your ears open for potentially
the podcast.
a new podcast.
Hey, we're going to tell you some of these refugee stories. We're going to have them here, and we're going to talk to them about their journey here to Australia and what they're doing now. So that's super exciting. How did I forget that before?
No, that's all right. So we're thinking about, creating a brand new podcast, just telling refugee stories, and of course those that are working with them, and really just highlighting, the incredible, they're an inspiration to me when I look at, how they are so resilient, how they come here and achieve, like Samir and others. There's countless. We've got a lot to learn from them, and that's what it's about. It's not like here's a crazy story of aren't they great. It's like no. Let's talk to them, sit down with them, and let's let them be our teacher. Let's them show us how to be curious, how to overcome, how to learn something. You be put out of your comfort zone and to evolve and change and grow when faced with some of the most difficult odds. And we're all experiencing that a bit in this season of 2020 and the pandemic. But I think they have something unique to show us and teach us.
For sure.
They're incredible. Their cultures that they come from have so much to teach us. So I'm looking forward to creating that space. Well, I'm not going to be doing it. The team, refugees and locals here are going to be taking this on. So this is an incredible opportunity for them to take over the podcast world and be our teachers. So I'm excited for it. So
I'm super excited too. Actually, another team member of ours and I got to go around Toowoomba taking photos and interviewing refugees who've got work here in Toowoomba now, and one particular story about a migrant actually who's a head chef in a cafe here in Toowoomba, and he wanted to give a refugee a chance, didn't have a jot of English hardly, and he 18 months down the track he's nearly finished his apprenticeship and is ready to be a chef himself.
Oh my gosh.
Stories like that we're really excited to bring to everyone, and I can't wait to have them on here sharing some of their story and teaching us a thing or two.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. So keep your ears open for that, and it might even be a video podcast, so you might be able to watch it too. Okay, as we close things out, how can people get involved, especially with this Dive to Thrive? What do people need to do to be a part of these incredible stories, and to help us create more stories like we're hearing and what we want to share through the podcast and other ways? How can people be part of this?
So you can be a part, obviously, by donating to our and sponsoring someone to dive. We've got about 10 divers who you can choose who you want to sponsor. So you can back them, and that encourages them as well in their journey as they fundraise, which is actually turns out to be a really big part of fundraising, to have people continually supporting you. You can share the...
Where do they go to make that donation?
So you can look on our Facebook page, and we're constantly got stuff posting on there about Dive to Thrive. Or you can go to the mycause.com and you can put in Dive to Thrive. .au, that's it. Dive to Thrive, and our campaign will come up, and it says Support You Belong Australia.
Brilliant.
So you can do it that way as well. And you could even come on the day and support us.
Yeah.
We're going to have a bunch of people on the beach hanging out for the day and just enjoying the sand and the surf. And
not a bad day, place to spend a Saturday down at Kirra.
It's only two hours, so it's not even a big trip. It's definitely a day trip that you could do. So, we're excited to just hang with some people and enjoy the sunshine as well. So, and that'll be really nice for the people coming down to have a bunch of people to
cheer them on. And look, guys, there's so many ways you can learn about You Belong. If you're just hearing about our work for the first time and you're just curious, youbelong.org.au.
That's it.
There's so many ways you can learn about and read about some blogs and stories, and ways you can volunteer and serve with us. If you're a Toowoomba local, they can volunteer
You can contact us. There's all sorts of ways you can contact us. And
yeah, there's a place for you. If whatever you have to offer, we'll find a place for you to help and support.
Find a place for them to belong. Hey?
There you go. Even you belong. Yeah. Awesome. Rach, any final last words?
Thank you all for your support so far. We've raised an amazing $7,000 towards our $50,000 goal. And we're pretty hopeful that we can get a lot more than that. So thank you so much. And get behind us. That'd be amazing. That's
awesome. We're hopeful we can reach that goal. It's just going to make a huge, huge effort and will inspire us to keep going. We're thankful for those of you that have given and do support us. It's because of you that we're even at this point. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.